Alright guys, we're going to prepare the H-beam columns for Shane's build. What I like to do on these here, because there's such a deep channel here and very little gluing space, what I want to do is add a little bit of styrene strips to fit inside of here like this. And what it'll do is it'll give me more gluing surface to attach it to the building. So what I need to do is laminate these two pieces of styrene strips, and what I'm using for this is of course evergreen, and I'm using number 188, which is 125 thousandths by 188 thousandths, and number 137, which is 30 thousandths by 156 thousandths. So let's start with this here, and we'll get going. Also, what I'm going to be doing, if you can see here, if you guys can see that, but anyhow, right here I have a stop, and the reason for that stop is when I put the trusses in, if you can see that I ground this down a bit, so it will fit inside the beam like that, and it'll give it a place to be secured to. So it doesn't slide all the way down the H-beam. Anyhow, let's get going on this, and we'll see how it turns out. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and laminate this, and then I'm going to cut this into maybe 2-inch pieces, and just put 2 or 3 in each H-beam. So I'll go ahead and laminate these, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, as you can see, I have 2 of these styrene strips done. I just used regular Model Masters glue. It seems to work very well with the styrene. Anyhow, the next part of this is going to be to cut this down into little pieces. Anyhow, I have my chopper set up at a 1-inch. It's hard to see. There you go. 1-inch spacing here, and I'm going to get as many. I should get about 14 out of here because these are 14-inch long. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and cut these out, and then we'll proceed to the next step. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, you can see I have all my pieces cut out right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 per H-beam. So let's go ahead and do that, and what I'm going to use for this is a CA cement, because this is actually ABS, and I should be using ABS glue, but it seems to work with the CA cement. So stay tuned, and we'll get going on mounting these puppies in there. I'll be right back. Alright guys, as you can see, I've got all the H-beams with the extra gluing surfaces attached. My next step is going to be to make the little stops so the trusses will fit in there. Here you go, it's better. And that'll be the support for the trusses. Now I want it to come out flush at the top here, so I measured them, and the actual measurement of the truss is 1 1/32 of an inch. So I marked off the same amount here on the trusses, and what I'm going to use is the same material I use for the extra gluing support, except this time I'm only going to have them set at 3/8 of an inch. And when I mount them, I'm going to mount them the higher part, so there's more more support for the trusses. Anyhow, stay tuned and we'll do the cutting and we'll get back to this in a couple minutes. Bye. Alright guys, you can see that all my H-beams are done with the supports in the back and the truss supports here. Now my next step is going to be, I want all the webs to face down like this. So what I need to do is to clean up the edges on here so I have a good gluing surface. I didn't know at the beginning which way I was going to put these, but now I have a definite way. So now I just need to clean up the ends here and mask it off so I have a good gluing surface. So stand by and we'll get to that right now. Alright guys, we're almost done with the preparation. Anyhow, there's 4 of these guys that have are going to have specific spots in the building. And the reason why I say that is they're going to be the corner supports. And this part here will go up against the side wall, and this side here will go up against the front or the rear wall, whichever this one is. This one happens to be the left rear. I have them all marked. And this one is the left front. And then again we got the right rear and the right front. Anyhow, I need to sand these down and mask them up a bit, and the next thing after that I guess will be the paint shop. So stay tuned and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, now that all the steel work has been prepared, the next thing to do is get it out and paint it. It seems like it's a really nice day outside today, so I'm actually going to take this outside and paint it. I'm not going to show you how I paint it. I've done that in a lot of my previous videos. I'm using a rattle can. It's oxide red. And I know I told you guys that this part 2 was going to be preparing the walls, but I didn't realize it was going to take so long just to prepare the steel work. So to keep it short, I've done, as you have seen in the video, I have done quite a few time-lapse parts. Otherwise this video will probably be about an hour. Anyhow, I'll cut this short and I'll get out there and paint this stuff up, and I will show you the steel work after it's painted. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright guys, this is going to be the final part for part number 2. I'm going to show you all the trusses and supports and H-beams all painted up. Also going to do a small little mock-up and give you guys a sneak peek at what it's going to look like when the building is done. Anyhow, before I do that, I have a little message for Shane, for him to look at something. Like I said yesterday, that the paint bubbled up on me. I tried to fix it. I got it the best I could, but we'll see if Shane likes it or not. Anyhow, stand by and I will show you all the painted parts, and then we will do a little mock-up of what the building will look like. Be right back. Alright Shane, as per our conversation texting this morning, I want to show you that this is the one area right here, and this is another area right here. For some reason or another, it just bubbled up on me, and I don't know why. Anyhow, I'm going to try and zoom this in so maybe you can see it better. I don't know how well the camera's going to get it. There you go, right there. You can see that. But I'm thinking if you put a toolbox there or whatever, you can't. It won't be that noticeable, especially because you're going to put the hoist in this area right here. So anyhow, let me get on with the rest of this video, and we'll talk to you later. Be back soon. Bye. Alright guys, what you're looking at are the painted steelwork for Shane's build. Here are my trusses, all nice and oxide red. Then we have over here, back here is all the H-beams, and then down here are all the center support beams. I got tape on these because, like I always say, glue does not stick to paint, and those are the ones that are going to go into the supports in the center of the building. I also got word from the boss that he wants those supports painted yellow. So anyhow, stay tuned, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of these in the building, put the building on the foundation, and give you guys a sneak peek at what it's going to look like. So stay tuned, and we shall be right back. Alright guys, you're looking at the end elevation of Shane's build here, and as you can see, I got the doors partially closed right now. Let's see how they're going to operate. And of course, they're not going to operate properly until I get the rear part of the track system secured. But just to give you an idea, alright, and then as you can see here, this one and this one are drive-throughs. I don't know if you can see that there's a lot of glare coming off the floor because Shane wanted a shiny floor. Anyhow, let me take this off the tripod, and I'll show you what the interior is going to look like. Alright, so here we go. As you can see, I've got all the trusses in there, and all the support beams, the H-columns, and this is kind of like what I was talking about. This truss here and this truss here are going to have to be permanent so I can attach the track work to the truss work. And of course nothing is really lined up yet, but as you can see, this is what it looks like from the inside. And then of course, like I said earlier, we got our little office shack in there, and the boss said he wants the those supports right down there, he wants those painted yellow. So Shane, you'll get them in yellow. Anyhow, in the front here, there'll be bumping posts, you know, so the truck drivers don't crash into the building. There'll be 2 for each door, and the same thing for the rear doors. And speaking of the rear doors, as you can see, I have not done them yet. But anyhow, the next part 3, is going to be on preparing the walls, cutting out the doors and windows on the office. I'm going to have another door and window back here, and then 2 more people doors here, and then I'll prep it for paint, and we'll get that done. Once it's painted, I could secure all the H-columns in place. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is part 2, and this is going to be the conclusion of part 2. And Shane, I just want you to know that I am going to be uploading a video for one of my subs. It'll be a tanker train run. So Jack, if you're watching this video, stay tuned for that video. Anyhow, as always, your questions, comments, input, and subs are always welcome. For now, that's all folks. BNSF 6951 out.